Legendary Charlotte teen, TJ Reddy passed away.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on his passing?
I'll take the reins on this because this is a topic I wanted to discuss. Okay, so before last week, I had no idea who TJ Reddy was. I seen a post by one of the media outlets here in Charlotte, and I went and did some research, and apparently TJ Reddy was a part of what they call the Charlotte 3.
Yeah.
Now, are you familiar with it?
I'm from the Lazy Five Ranch.
Okay, yeah. So apparently they wanted to ride horses or something.
Right. A little bit of background. I'm gonna let you go, but I'll paint the picture. Man.
From what I've learned, they wanted to ride horses.
Right.
They were told no.
Right.
So allegedly they came back and they killed X amount of horses and burned them. And
word is they burned the ranch down, but
yeah. And because of that, the three of them got sentenced to jail. And there was this huge uprising, and everyone was like, BS, BS, BS. And in
1972 or 4
something, the then, was it governor?
1979. It was
1979.
Martin, I think.
No, it was Jim Hunt. Jim Hunt. He commuted all three sentences because I guess they were like falsely accused. And TJ Reddy, at the end of the day, he was a poet. He was an artist. He was an activist, and apparently he did a lot of good for the community. The biggest reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to highlight how I am sick and tired of learning about so many impactful African Americans after they die.
Right.
After they die.
Right.
And I don't know how we can go about finding out who else has done what in the community, in the country, but I'm just so tired of scrolling, and it's like Charlotte's first ever black representative died.
Right.
It's like, damn, why didn't I know this before he died?
Right.
And that's the big. I just want to bring some light to that.
No, and honestly, Vince, you stole all my thunder, man. So it's kind of tough for me to follow that, but because my first thought when you brought this conversation up was there are so many people. There are way too many people who didn't know about him. Again, I'm going to repeat a lot of the same things you said because you stole a lot of my thunder, which is fine, man. But I actually had the pleasure of meeting him one time, probably over 10 years ago at the Harvard Gas Center, man. And the thing that always the thing that kind of aggravated me about the way people describe him as a radical. He was a radical activist. He was radical. Look, by definition, if he was a radical, we need more radicals because he was one of the very, and you have to take into effect the time period at the event with the Lazy Five Ranch, and again, we were way too young to even remember or we didn't live it. But at the time all this was going on, you got to understand, Charlotte was looked at as this kind of progressive New South city at the time that all of this happened. But you still had a segment of the population, mainly black folks, who did not feel that was the case. TJ Reddy was one of those people who were telling everybody it's not as progressive as you think it is. Man, it's funny how history repeats itself. I'll just leave it at that. But to wrap this all up, man, I can talk about this a long time, and I won't, but way too many people who did not know about TJ Reddy, his impact in the city. And this last thing I'll say, he does leave a very long lasting legacy with his artwork and his impact in the art community. As y'all know, I have a ton of friends and a ton of peers who are in the same art community who knows who TJ Reddy is. They can tell you his impact and what it means to them. So rest in peace. And I wish more people knew who he was.
My condolences to your family. Rest in peace.
No doubt.
Much love.
Same.